Have you ever felt like the world's best salespeople just know something you don't? Like they're all working from some secret playbook? Well, according to sales legend Zig Ziglar and Shark Tank's Kevin Harrington, it turns out they kinda do. And today, we are unlocking those secrets.
And look who's saying this. That's Kevin Harrington. You know him, an original shark from Shark Tank, the guy who basically invented the infomercial. He's sold over $5 billion worth of stuff. That's billion with a B, and he says a huge reason for all that crazy success comes right from the pages of Zig Ziglar's classic, Secrets of Closing the Sale.
But what's really wild is that this multi-billion-dollar career didn't just start with a bang. Not even close. You know, everyone, even a future shark, has got to start somewhere.
And for a young Kevin Harrington, his start looked exactly like this. 0 sales for 20 attempts. Just let that sink in. Imagine knocking on 20 different doors, trying to sell driveway sealant, and getting rejected every single time. He was just a kid, and you can bet that his confidence was taking a serious hit.
So that's the big question, right? How in the world do you go from 0 for 20 to 5 billion in sales? I can tell you, it wasn't just luck. It was learning a few powerful, game-changing secrets about how selling really, truly works. And those are the secrets we're breaking down right now.
All right, secret number 1. And honestly, this one is huge. It's a complete shift in how you think about the whole thing. Most of us are taught to think of selling as pushing something or persuading someone. But the real secret? It's not about selling at all. It's about serving. This idea comes straight from the master, Zig Ziglar himself. It completely flips the script. It means it's not about your commission, your quota, or even how great your product is. It's about focusing 100% on the other person. What's their problem? What do they want? How can you genuinely help them get it? Your success just becomes the natural result of helping enough people.
Now, of course, if you're going to serve people, they have to trust you. And in today's world of instant reviews and social media callouts, character isn't just a nice little bonus, it's everything. If you're not honest, if your product is junk, people are going to find out, and they're going to find out fast. Trust and integrity are literally your most valuable assets.
Okay, so you've got the service mindset. I'm here to serve. Great, but how do you actually do that? Well, that leads us right into secret number 2. You have to paint a vivid picture. You've got to help people see the future that you're offering them.
And this is exactly how Kevin Harrington broke his losing streak. He realized just telling people about driveway sealant was, well, pretty boring. They couldn't visualize it, so he changed his whole game. He found one neighbor willing to let him do the job at cost. He took these awesome before and after photos. Then he went back to all those same houses that told him no, but this time he didn't just talk. He showed them the magical transformation. And the result? Bam! He sold 18 of those next 20 driveways.
You know, Ziglar had this fantastic story about an airport shoe shiner who was a master at this. When a customer would hesitate on the price of a premium shine, he wouldn't argue. He'd just paint a picture. He'd put it in perspective, making the customer see how silly it was to have an expensive suit and nice shoes, but then to cheap out on the one thing that makes it all pop. See? He wasn't selling the service, he was selling the value. All right, our third secret is a subtle but incredibly crucial distinction. It's the difference between empathy and sympathy. Get this, one of them helps you close the sale, and the other can absolutely kill it. So what's the difference? Well, think of it like this. Sympathy is when you feel for someone. You get kind of caught up in their emotion. But empathy is when you understand how they feel from their point of view. And here's why that matters so much. Sympathy gets you stuck on the problem they tell you about. Empathy, on the other hand, lets you dig deeper and find the real problem, the one you can actually solve.
And man, Ziglar learned this one the hard way. He was trying to sell some high-end cookware to a farmer, and the farmer said, "Sorry, can't afford it. We're saving for an indoor bathroom." Ziglar felt sympathy for him, thought, yeah, that's a good reason, and he left. But he missed the sale because he failed to have empathy for the farmer's real problem, the daily struggle of feeding 7 kids and making his wife's life easier. The cookware would have helped with that bigger problem, but sympathy for the surface-level problem cost him the sale.
And that brings us to our final secret. This is the one that ties all the others together. It's not a technique. It's not a mindset about the customer. It's about you. So, after all of this, when you boil it all down, what do you think is the single most important part of the entire sales process? Is it the product, the customer, the pitch?
Nope, it's the salesperson. It's you. Your conviction, your belief, your integrity. That is the engine that drives everything else forward.
Ziglar tells the perfect story about this. There was a salesman named Bill who was really struggling to sell that same cookware, and the reason was simple. He didn't own a set himself. How could he sell it with conviction? So Ziglar convinced him to buy a set, even though it was a huge financial stretch. And you know what happened? Suddenly, Bill could speak from experience. He could talk with genuine empathy and true belief. His sales absolutely skyrocketed, so much so that he paid for his own set in the very first week.
So really, it all comes down to this: your honest belief. If you don't genuinely feel, deep in your gut, that the person you're talking to is making a mistake and will lose out by not buying what you offer, you just won't be as effective. That belief you have is contagious.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Forget your product, your service, your company for just a second. What problem do you truly solve for people? And do you believe in that solution so deeply that you feel they are losing out if they don't have it? Because that right there, that's the real secret of the sale.